Good morning, afternoon, evening guys, this is Captain Tin 100 here bringing you some exclusive, brand new, never seen before footage from the Microsoft XboxOne UK tour. We and a friend who I will link in the description, and he did some of the camera work for me here. Me and my friend went to this event. We applied through Facebook. We got invited to it for 2 days, both Monday and Tuesday, the 28th and 29th of October. There was various demos. You see in the games in the intro title, you're going to see some screenshots, some gameplay from those titles. It was hugely interesting and very, I don't know what the word would be, we felt very privileged to be there, and the guy who introduced us made us make sure we knew that the event was exclusive. So we're going to start off here with a screenshot of the console itself. It looks beautiful, a lot smaller than it looked at E3. I will say that. That is one thing that we did notice, that it was a lot smaller, not as much as a VCR as it looked at E3. So here we got a bit of a video clip, just a pan up and around the console. At E3, it got a lot of criticism. This happens every time a next gen comes out. Oh, it looks like a VCR, I'm not buying that. But it does look nice. Here's a bit of the Kinect sensor. I played this bit twice so you can get a good look at it. The Kinect sensor looks a lot nicer than the first one. It's a lot lighter as well. That is one thing that we did notice. Most of them weren't turned on apart from the Kinect Rivals demo. So this is the controller. Oh, this is a nice controller. It's much better than the 360 one. They've made various improvements. The D-pad is beautiful. The thumbsticks are phenomenal. They just feel so good. They have the little grips around the edge now, and the impulse triggers, which are particularly noticeable on Forza. When you're driving, you brake, and you hit a car or a barrier, they vibrate, and it really kind of changes the whole immersion of when you're playing your game. And the controller is just beautiful. The D-pad has been improved so much. The home button has been shifted around with the start and select. It's a very good controller. And this here is the setup they had. It was a unit attached to the wall with 2 controllers in each Xbox, a Kinect sensor, an Xbox One, and a HD ready TV. It was a pretty good setup. There was around about 40 to 50 units in the venue, so there was plenty to go around for everyone to use. This right here is the home screen. When you now press the Xbox dashboard button, this is what appears. You no longer get that white dashboard thing that pops up in the middle of the screen. The game zooms out into a window, which you can see in the top right there is Killer Instinct, and then you get all these little tabs on the left hand side, tabs on the left hand side of achievements, friends, coming soon, the store, settings, whatever you want to access is straight there from the home button. It's a massive improvement, guys. So coming on to our first game, one of the most popular games at the event, Dead Rising 3. I played the first 2. Number 1, I loved to bit pieces. Number 2, not so much. But number 3 is a great improvement. And guys, don't think I'm just going to fanboy all the time. There is some criticism to have of the Xbox One and this game as well. But they've changed so much gameplay wise. There's now a sprint button, which was missing from the first 2, and it really needed that. They've now assigned that to the left bumper, which makes things so much easier, really does. So my friend here was just playing. As you can see now, he's got into a digger. It was great fun just playing around. You've got the zombie kill count in the top left corner, which just really makes you want to kill more zombies, I suppose. To see if you can beat your time. It was just bars of fun. You can see here I'm actually using the sledge saw for the first moment there. One of the most notorious weapons that they're showing off at E3. This one was called the shock hammer or the electro sledge or something like that. I think it was the electro sledge. And again, just combining the weapons in Dead Rising, that's always been a big key gameplay element for it. and it really, it's so much fun, Dead Rising. It really is a very good game. So my friend here, he combined a shotgun and some grenades. I'm sure that would work in real life. If you guys want to try it out, let me know how it goes. Put a frag grenade down a shotgun barrel, fire it, see what happens. Do let me know in the comments if you still have fingers left to type, that is. But it was just so much fun just to play around with the different combinations. The AI of the zombies is spot on, they got it perfect. The gameplay feels a lot more fluent than it did in the first two games. See here, it was just burning zombies, and it was just a really, really good game to play. And it was very fun. That is the one thing to take away from Dead Rising, and that's the one thing it achieves time and time again. It's got a little screenshot here of Dead Rising. Again, you see a zombie on fire in the bottom right corner. That just happens because why not? It's Dead Rising. Then this was the booth. Each booth had a little Dead Rising kind of blown up poster next to it that were lining all the walls. Now, the one criticism I did have with Dead Rising was this: it's not co-op mode. Before that's what you're thinking, it's a glitch. But these demos are 2-month-old builds, so you don't expect this. There's a lot of polishing to be done yet, but that did happen. Rise. It was impossible to get on this game, but we did manage to get some gameplay footage for it. Now, when I first seen this announced at E3, I was a bit skeptical of it. I thought it's just a quick time game, and that can be pulled off. You've got games like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls on the PlayStation, but I thought, with it being, Roman battles and gladiators and all that good stuff, I thought, is it going to work? Probably not. It turned out to be quite a surprise. You can see there, holding left bumper does the taunt, which increases enemies' aggression. I think that's what the guy told me. So, just watch the gameplay here and make of it what you will. It was a very fun, you can see here some of the quick time executions, which are executed by after you get a soldier down to a certain amount of health. You can press the right trigger, and then the quick time event, you press whatever colour outlines the body corresponding to that button. So if the outline is blue, you press X, if the outline is Y, you press... Sorry, if the outline is yellow, you press Y, so on and so forth. But a very surprising game. It wouldn't be one that I would buy at launch, because it's a hack and slash just isn't my type of genre. But some people do love that game, and it's done very well in its past. Dynasty Warriors did brilliantly. I can imagine in the campaign we only got to play kind of a skirmish mode. We didn't get to play the campaign, it was only the skirmish mode in the demo. But it was fun. A lot better than I thought it would be. You can see here some of the executions coming into play. Again, it was very fun to play. I really enjoyed it. So just enjoy the rest of this gameplay, and then we'll come back with the next game. This here, what you're seeing now, is the start menu. This is what you see when you load up the game. You've got your campaign. We were playing on the gladiator mode, which gladiator mode is skirmish. You've got your campaign. The timeline is basically chapter select. That's what that is. But a very well presented game. Looks very nice as well. So overall, should you buy Rise on release date? I keep wanting to pronounce it Reese. I know it's Rise, but if I do pronounce it, I know it's Rise. It's a very good game. Not everyone's cup of tea, not particularly mine, but it's playable, and I would play it again, if I did buy an Xbox One. So we're going to come on to our next game now, which is Forza 5. Again, I'm not a racing fan. I occasionally buy the odd Formula 1 game, but it's not a very arcadey race, it's a very kind of serious sort of simulator, not an arcade game. Now, one thing I will say about Forza, it looks beautiful. It wasn't presented on the biggest TV, maybe about 25 inches each TV in the unit, in the venue, but it looks stunning. You can see here, just loading up the cars. One thing as well, the load times for this are very long, something you wouldn't expect, with a new processor from a next-gen console, but it was a little bit on the more longer side than you would expect. So you see here, happening now is just some Forza gameplay. Again, I can't emphasise enough how beautiful this game looks. We see here from the point of view perspective of the driver. It was just it handled quite arcadey. You see the song layer there was just phenomenal. They've also, the rewind feature comes into play here as well, which every racing game seems to have stolen from Grid. I don't know why everyone's just using that. But it's useful if you're doing really well. You just want to rewind a tiny bit if you messed up a corner. It's no big deal. Nice little useful feature. What else is there to say about Forza, really? It's still Forza. What kind of innovative changes can they make? At the end of the day, it's a racing game. But I've not really played any of the Forzas. Again, they had these two very professional looking ladies in jumpsuits taking pictures. So they were doing their job as professionally as they were. Plus they're pretty fit as well. So anyway, coming into Battlefield 4. Now, I love Battlefield. I'm a Battlefield boy. Not a COD boy. I hate COD, usual stuff. Battlefield 4 was not what I expected. I played the downloadable beta on the 360. That needed some polishing. But this, which must be a month too old build, feels very unpolished. The servers we were playing on, each unit was intertwined with each other, so you were playing live people here or also at the venue with you. You weren't playing AI or bots, you were playing other people in the room. And the servers were laggy as hell, so do excuse the sometimes jumpy movement of the character. As I said, it's unpolished, and I was going to buy Battlefield 4 for my Xbox, but now I'm having second thoughts. And having this, I'll probably watch a review, probably wait for Angry Joe's review of it before I buy it. But really not what I expected, actually. And there was an interview with a friend of mine who interviewed a guy who played Battlefield. See if you can work that one out. I'll give you a second to pause the video. He interviewed a guy who played Battlefield, and he had the exact same opinions as me, very unpolished. And that seemed to be the general consensus of the other people at the venue. So, a little bit of a shock. Next game, Killer Instinct. I am not a fighting game person. You probably wonder, well, what type of person are you? Well, it's not fighting games, racing games, or whatever the other one was. No, fighting games, never been my thing. Killer Instinct looks very nice. It's very oversaturated, very bright and colourful. I don't know if that's a killing style. I've never played one of the games before. I understand this is a series that's making a return. So I'll just give you a minute here to watch some of the footage. Also as well, the guy who is getting beat up right now is a second player. The demo was 2-player, however, some people were on their own and they didn't have a second player to play, so he's just beating the crap out of a second player with no one playing it. So I'll give you a minute here just to watch and appreciate some of the gameplay. FIFA! Okay, this is my kind of game. I love FIFA. I've got every FIFA since 04. And I was skeptical when they were going to re-release it, and EA kind of marketed it as a new game, which, what else do you expect from EA? But it feels very different. For any FIFA fans out there who are skeptical about buying it on the next gen, buy it, guys. You can see the crowd here in the video. Just little changes, well, it's not a little change, it's a massive change, but it really changes the whole immersion of being on the pitch and playing. You can see I've recorded here a little clip of the players exiting. It's now much more theatrical, it's much more realistic. You feel like you're about to play a game. One thing I do hope they change is the trophy presentations. It's not just the team putting the trophy on the pitch and jumping around it like it is on current gen. But we didn't get to see that because it's just a kick-off demo. But no, you can see here the avatars of the players look much more realistic. They move much less robotically. However, they have failed to fix decisions like this. Guys, you FIFA players, tell me how this is a penalty. What is that? It's not a penalty. This is something I noticed. The penalty animations. Now you see the player stepping back, the goalkeeper preparing himself. You know, it's just little changes like that. You know, really make it as if, you know, you're sat at home watching a Sky Sports game, or, you know, you're sat as a manager, managing your team. It makes all the difference. So I was playing a guy at the venue. There you can see prime example there of the crowd. Much more 3D. You know, they're no longer cardboard cutouts, 2D little things. Coming up here now as well, if you watch this, that's a shot there from Ronaldo. The shot animation, they've added a few more in. I know with FIFA 14 current gen, they really marketed the new animations of the players, but they've added some more into next gen. So overall, if I did buy an Xbox One, I would buy FIFA 14. I do currently own it on 360. However, it was awesome. Very, very fun to play, and it was good. So in the end, guys, my opinion of the Xbox One is mixed. You know, I've had a chance to sit down with it and play the game, play a variety of different games. I've had hands-on with the console. The demos were 2 months old at least, you know, 2-month-old builds, so some of them were a little buggy, but, you know, you shouldn't expect that on release date, unless it's made by EA. But, you know, overall, it's a decent console, better than I thought it would be, especially after what happened at E3 with Microsoft, as everyone knows. No, it was a huge honour to be there. You know, we thank Microsoft and Xbox for, you know, even putting on the event and giving people like us the opportunity to go and play it early. So I'm going to link you to a video below of a friend of mine who played some of the games. He recorded some of the gameplay. And please do excuse the amateurish videography, guys. You know, it was recorded entirely on iPhones. They wouldn't allow us to bring in capture cards, but they did allow us to film, which, you know, we are incredibly grateful for. I understand Ubisoft put out an embargo on some Assassin's Creed 4 footage, which they wouldn't have released. But yeah, that was it, guys. Please let me know what you think of the Xbox One. Are you going to pre-order it? Do you like what you've seen here? Because, you know, it's unseen footage before, guys, so do let me know what you think of it. So please tell me what you think, because, you know, I am eager to know. I'm eager to get other people's opinion of the next gen. Will you be buying on release date? Will you be waiting until after the new year so it has some solid titles? Please, guys, do let me know. And this has been Captain Tim 100. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys.